Big Tramp, how's it going, man? Congratulations being first. Uh, so I switched to a different channel. I'm getting a little bit better of a connectivity and less, um, shoot, what are they called? Less latency. So we'll see if this works out for me a little bit better. Yeah, we're back. Alex Jones is stealing my signal. Sam says they took out TD's stream as well. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Did he? Weird. It's really strange how that stuff is happening, isn't it, guys? Very, very interesting. I did have low connection speeds on the channel that I was on, so I switched channels. And I went to from a 4G channel to a 5G channel, so hopefully I'm getting a little bit better. The latency is actually right around the same amount, but I'm getting some better connection speeds on 5G, obviously. Danny says you can battle the signals with a tinfoil hat. I don't know, man. So it does look like we're starting the handle portion, heading back down here. Um, on a very short term basis, I'll tell you what this looks like. It's starting to look a little bit like the top of this hand, like this top of this mug here is looking like it's going to be a Head and Shoulders. Let me draw it out. And how many bars is this one? 7 bars. And the last portion of this will probably be a little bit lower, so we're probably looking at like perhaps somewhere around here for 11 bars. And once that happens, then we'll probably have a bit of a price run down, maybe into the 16 range, somewhere down here before the end of the day. So essentially, what you have here is you've got your shoulder. This is the running up portion right here. This is the head. This is the running down portion, the time frame, and then you should get price run down to around this level down here. This is going to be your consolidation period, and then after that happens, it's going to drop price down right down to about $16. It might actually be a little bit less than that. It might be 1640. Kind of looking at this right here. There's signs of some support, maybe around the 1630, 1640 range. So it might not make it all the way down to 16 bucks. But I'm definitely seeing. Actually, it could stop as early as 1689. So I guess really anywhere between 1630 and 16 let's call it 1690. Anthony, no, I'm not making that suggestion at all. Let's see if this plays out first off. I mean, this period of time right here should be dropping price right up until about 13. I shouldn't have any breaks in this in here, but it looks like I do. 39. There we go. 39. There we go. That's better. So most of this period of time in here where this line is starting here, price should be falling down and getting to that next level of support. And you can see support perhaps right around that 1742 range. It might drop slightly below it and kind of hover and consolidate right around that level of support at 1742. In which case, when it does form the completion or the consolidation period on the other side of the shoulder, the trailing shoulder, then we would see the breakdown of price potentially further, leading to it actually might only make it down to 17. I might be, I don't know. It's hard to say. Let's go with 16. I'm actually going to change that prediction. I'm going to change it to 16.95, $17 range. Let's move this back up a little. Whoa, that's not the right one. Let's see here. $17 range. We'll go right here. I think I was a little aggressive on that. Yeah, man, my stream went down. I was getting buffered. Cole, I will say this. I don't know who Tony has as an internet service provider. But I usually go down to downdetector.com whenever I'm having issues, and it was saying that AT&T was struggling. Um, it looks like there are some game AT&T had a little bit of a bump there. They didn't show up as red, but they did have a spiking of problems being reported. There are some games out there like Roblox and Ghost Recon and whatever Crunchyroll is, that are having issues. T-Mobile's got some problems right now. I don't want to make any presumptions as to what kind of who the internet service provider is for Tony, but I'm guessing AT&T as well. He could be on Google Fiber. I don't know. Google's got a spike though. They've got a spike in issues. Frontier Communications has got some problems going on. Gmail's got a spike that's happening, but not showing up as yellow red yet. So it does appear like there are some problem areas out there. Yo says just invert the chart so it goes up. Look at the textbook. Like I mean, this is like consolidating like right here in the same like price ran down almost the same exact consolidation point on the run up. So we might have a little bit of consolidation in here a little bit before we see the rest of the rundown moving forward. This is pretty clean looking. Yeah, I'm with you, Dr. Zena. I don't really. It's fun to say, like, oh, I'm getting shorted by hedge funds. Yeah, it's not the case. There's other stuff going on. Yeah, Head and Shoulders. I think I think it's less aggressively. I think that this Head and Shoulders could take us down to as low as 1680. Um, Somewhere between 1680 and maybe 1710. It's kind of hard to say. I'm just looking at yesterday's support right around here, around 1690. Yeah, let's call it 1695. So I'm kind of giving myself a little bit of room, 1680 to potentially maybe some support here in the 1710 range, somewhere 1680, 1710, somewhere around there. What if it goes up instead of down? Then it means that the pattern formation just didn't complete like it suggests that the market um, pattern is well, how do I say this? The pattern, if the pattern doesn't complete, then that just means that I'm missing something, a bigger picture. There's something else that there may be another technical indicator that I'm missing that maybe is a little bit more prevailing. But right now it's looking pretty strong. Novocaine says, "How dare you say it looks like a clean run down?" Reddit posts are saying only answer is crime. I mean, they're not wrong. I feel like it's a mixture of both, right? Like I mean, it really is kind of like a little bit of a crime that they're pushing price like this. But it's like both. Dr. Zena says the market and crime are synonymous. there's there's a lot of truth to that, man. There's a lot of truth to that. 11:53. We got about 7 more minutes before we take a look at the rest of the numbers, guys. Um, hmm. What do I want to say about what's happening right now? First off, I want to take a look at the VIX. Let's take a look at that real fast, see what's going on here. This is very, very clearly heading in a descending parallel channel on the daily, on the VIX here. When this pattern breaks out, it should break out going up. I did not anticipate this dropping this low at all. Did not see that coming. However, you can see what happens when you have a channel that runs down, how quickly it can rise back up. Like this is several days on a downwards trend here, and then it only took 3 days to get back up to 35. So similarly, with this long run down here on the VIX, it could take only 3 days, maybe four, to get back up to that 35 range. If that happens, watch for the market to just be dropping like massively. We are on a little bit of a bull run. The SPY is up to 414. I said if it breaks 410, that we could have a little bit of a bull run on the market. Um, I feel like this is a bull trap. that's my feelings. Uh, I We'll see how long this lasts for. If this continues to last into mid next week on this bull run, maybe not a bull trap, but it looks like one to me as it stands. Looking at the weekly, I think this is temporary. I don't think it can continue on for much longer. In fact, it may have had it hit a resistance point right here, right where it's at. You can see a level of resistance here that's hit before and a level of support from the past. So this may be the level of resistance right now that it hits before moving back down further. What do we see, guys? What do we see whenever we see head and shoulders? Anybody? What do we typically see when we see head and shoulders? It's going to take like 15 to 20 seconds for you guys to answer. Knees and toes. No. No, not boobs. Cat ears. No, Dan. They're called exploding kittens, man. Come on. Yes, cat ears. So let me show them to you. Let's see here. So sometimes the cat ears are seen on the first leading into the first shoulder. I'm not sure if you see the cat ears or not in here, but it looks to me like right about here might be your cat ears. There's your exploding kitten leading into the price movement upwards on the head and shoulders. And that kitten has way too long whiskers. It's just too many. I don't know how to draw. I suck at it. I really wish I was better. There's your exploding kitten. Sam says, looks a lot more like a bunny, but close enough. There's your exploding cat ears right there. And then there's almost a secondary cat over here as well. That does happen on occasion. Um, but yeah, this is forming out very much like a head and shoulders, much similar to a lot of the ones that we've seen from the past. Yep, kitties go boom boom. Those exploding kittens love to explode. Novocaine says tears. No, man, no tears here. This is actually a good thing. I mean, if you think about it, like if we're completing, if this is indeed completing that run down to $16, this pretty much seals the deal on a cup and handle, which means we'll probably see some good price movement. I think earlier today when I ran the numbers, I told you guys perhaps maybe up to about 20, just a little over $20 would be in our futures. So this is not bad. We gotta complete the pattern. No, no, myself, I do not want pictures of exploding kittens sent to me, please no. My wife actually said this morning, she says, you know what, we need to get a cat. And let me tell you how cool my wife is, man. She's allergic to cats, but she knows how much the kids want to get a cat. And like who does that? Who says, yeah, let's get a cat for everybody because they want to make people happy, but she's allergic to them. I would never ever in a million years say that. If somebody said like, hey, let's get a cat, and I'm allergic to cats, I'd be like, screw you, no cats. Oh, Yo says cats are pure evil. Come on, cats are good. I like cats. I am a dog guy. I mean, I personally prefer dogs over cats, but I do like cats. It depends on the cat though. There are some cats that are really really mean. But I tend to think that it has to do with the owners. Sometimes. Well, no, it doesn't have to do with the owners. It's really just kind of their personalities. Some cats are just assholes. Nikki says some cat breeds are non-allergenic for people. Yeah, I've heard about that. I don't know if we're not the kind of family that spends extra money on non-allergenic cats, though. Steve says I'm allergic to cats. I have four boxers. Hey man, there's 7 days in a week. You need more than four. Yes, there's my dad joke of the day. Those Egyptian cats from Canada. Big Tramp, what's a bold cat? I don't even know if I want to look that up. I'm afraid. Nikki says ginger cats are feisty. Probably like real gingers in life, right? Nikki, am I right? Huh? Mr. Bigglesworth. So it looks like we got our consolidation period over here. Looks like it may be done, and it's starting to do the dropping portion over here. The dropping portion. The drop. Sir Purr a lot. You know, if we had a cat, I don't know. I bet you, I can almost guarantee you we'll come up with a pretty interesting name for the cat. My dad, um, my dad's kind of, he's passed away, but he has this weird sense of humor, and he always thought it would be funny if we had a cat and we named it something like Aroma. But inevitably, he always thought it would be funny. You know how like when people walk outside and they call for their kitty cats, they go here kitty 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 like that, or they call them by their name and they usually say like the name like over and over and over and over. Um, and he thought it would be funny for us to have to say aroma over and over and over one time at multiple times in a row because it's just so hard to say. He thought that would be funny. Derek says I got two Sharpies. They are completely worthless. Love them like family. It's cool, man. There is, I don't know if you guys have heard of oh shoot, what do they call those? Is it, what is it called? They're part, not panther. What is it they're mixed with? Is it cheetah? No, it's not. I don't think it's cheetah. They're part mixed with something. I can't remember what it is. Maybe it's like mountain lion or something like that. It's like part cat, part mountain lion, or I can't remember what it is. But it's a bigger size cat, and they're apparently extremely loyal to family. Um, like some people like have videos of them that use like they straight up like use the toilet. Serval, okay, maybe that's what it is. I don't know. I don't know the name of them, but I had a ex coworker who had one. He said they were really cool. Yeah, what Dino Mike said. I think that's the mix. I can't say the word. I'm not gonna try. I love the win says Spy is going up or we're going down. WTF? Um, I'm okay with that. The further we get away from being the further we are away from being attached to the price movement of the SPY, the better. Because when the SPY goes down, I want to see us moving up. We used to have two guinea pigs, but they passed away. Actually, were they guinea pigs or were they? Yeah, guinea pigs. They were guinea pigs. Jeff says, I've got a 13-year-old black lab, Bam Bam, that goes with me everywhere from getting his own donut in the morning to job sites and in the evening on the golf cart to the store and beard. Man, that's cool. When you develop one of those kind of relationships with an animal like that, that is super, super cool. Enjoy it while you can, Jeff. I've had dogs like that before in my past and they're gone now, but man, I miss it. Those are good dogs. They're the best ones, man. 13 years old. We've got Bruno's. He's a good dog. Bruno's a really good. He's a great dog and a good protector, good family dog. Like he's real lovable. Um, I'd like to breed him and maybe get him his own pup or something like that as a friend, but we haven't done that yet. Derek, have you gotten that link that I've sent out before with um, the page where you can check beta? If not, I can post it up here and you can look at it. Yeah, hold on a second. Let me pull it up here. This website it's really kind of weird because it always advertises like weird stuff all the time. Like I haven't been searching for vehicles at all. Whatever it is up with this website now, it's advertising. Like you guys have seen it where it's advertised like risque stuff maybe before, but I haven't been searching for trucks, and then here we got this. This is a beautiful looking truck. I don't know what that is. I can't tell. It looks like it says Hobo H5. I don't know what that is. Uh, oh, you know what? The back end of that almost looks like I don't I don't know. I can't tell. I can't tell what this is, but it's kind of cool looking. Anyways, I just sent the link in the description in there, and we'll just plug in AMC in here, and I'm just going to show you quickly how to use this, just so you know. Um, you do need like kind of an extended period of time that you pull up data for, like to know whether you're truly negative beta or positive beta. You should be using like at I think at a minimum 3 to 4 months worth of data. So what I'm doing here is I just put in AMC's stock symbol. I put in January 2022 to August 2022, and I'm going to calculate the beta. So I'm looking at 7 months worth of data because we're just barely into August right now. So I'm using 7 months worth of data to calculate the beta on this, which is taking forever to go through, which means I'm probably getting buffered again. Maybe. Yeah. Oh, that's not being. Oh, there we go. It just went through, which is saying that we're on a negative 3.5 beta to the market. But what you're going to notice is as I change the dates on this, like if I change this to February to current, it's going to change the value. So February to now is 3.3 negative beta. March to now is negative 1.14 negative beta. April to current, negative 0.15 beta. May to current, This will probably be the last one that we'll run. May to current says that we're actually positive beta 2.6. I don't think June to current's going to work. Oh, it did work. June to current is saying negative 2.5. But it won't calculate anything less than that, I don't think. If I put it to July to current, it's not gonna it won't calculate. So really, in all honesty here, I guess what I'm trying to say to you, Derek, is this. In regards to, are we negative beta or are we positive beta, it depends on the time frame that you're looking at. But you do need a substantial amount of data points to be able to determine whether or not you're positive or negative beta. You're not going to really, like, over a very short period of time, you can probably just look at it and just say, like, okay, what are we doing over a short period of time? Are we following the SPY or not following the SPY? What are we doing? Right? And you can just look at it and say, like, okay, over this period of time, yes, we are doing the opposite or the same as the rest of the market. Um, you know, but over a longer period of time, maybe not the case. If we pulled up a year's worth of data from now to last August, we're negative 3.9. So, anyways, use it how you want. I always just like to be able to share cool links to cool sites that you can do cool stuff. Because, we're cool around here. We're like a bunch of Fonzies. Yeah, Jeff, quality time, man. Quality time. Rusty's saying that was a Chevy Silverado. Was it, though? I don't know that it was. Maybe. I love the win says, oh, he's talking to at Big Tramp. Never mind. Yes, we are. We are still 100% utilization. Day 100. Oh, shoot. Look at this price driving back up here. This is unusual. Volume starting to drive up a little bit, but the last couple minutes are still under 60,000. This is unusual. Did not see this coming. Would have expected price to continue to try to drive down to this price point down here, and it's not. Very interesting. Hmm. It's surprising. Corbin says NFL starts tomorrow. I don't really pay attention. I love the win says I have a Ram TRX 702. Horsepower is awesome. That looked to me like it was a Dodge. The only reason I say is it looked like on the back end of it like it had that like TRX like writing on the back or something. Um, who is this? I just got followed by like a weird verified account on Twitter. Anybody know who Algo V9 is? Oh, your day trading edge. AI generated support and resistance price levels for stocks and crypto. I just got followed by somebody from this account, which is a verified account, ALGO V9. I don't know what that is. Kind of weird to get followed by an account that seems to be like an. That's really weird. Novocaine says it was a GMC Sierra. Check this out. This is a weird account. I don't think I've ever seen this before. And the weird part about it is it's got 63,000 followers. And I don't think that I've ever seen that many followers before on an account other than somebody like maybe like Tara, and it started following me. Very, very strange. I don't know why. It's a quant. What's that mean? I don't know what that means. You're saying things that are not in my vocabulary. I've actually heard the term quant before, but I don't know what it means. Hold on, let me look it up. I don't know what that means. It doesn't help me. Buy sell signals, but why did it follow me though? It's a software algo signals service, but why is it following me? Why did it suddenly decide to follow me? Quackles. Yo says, Casey, that's why I asked when ape quant. I don't know what it means. I've never seen, that's a really huge, I mean, 63.9 thousand followers. That's a big account, out of New York. I don't know. This is the kind of stuff that makes me like weirded out. I go like, why? What? Like, is it just trying to achieve finding out who's on my friends list so it can get more people in there? Probably. All right, so I'm just going to show you guys because I do this all the time. I've done this before. You know, I had I'm going to show you two different things. I'm going to show you two different things here, and I think this is kind of funny. It's funny to me, but not, I don't know, maybe you guys won't think it's funny. It's funny to me. So I do this all the time. Like when I don't understand like why an account followed me and I want to just try to figure out what's going on, I'll send it a message. Very very generic. I always say, "Hey there. Oops. Uh, just saw your follow and was wondering how I might know you?" Question mark. And if it doesn't respond back to me within a certain period of time, I give it the boot. Because if you're not a real person and you're following me, um, or yeah, I don't want to follow you. So, but what I want to show you though, let me pull this off to the side. I want to show you this one. This one cracked me up the other day. Let me see if I can find it. and I haven't written them back, and I feel bad. Like I want to write them back and be like, dude, I'm so sorry. I don't understand why I did what I did on this. I don't know if you guys know who Hippie Funny is, at Hippie Funny AMC Addict. Normally I do when I go through, I kind of check to see like, I look to see what it is that they're posting. And I just want to verify that they're like a real person. Why am I showing you this? I'm showing you this because I think it's important to know that, who it is that's following you and why they're following you on Twitter. Um, this is the kind of account right here that I would just normally just follow straight back without even asking any questions. I have no idea what happened. Maybe I accidentally clicked on this one and wasn't fully aware of which one I was accidentally clicking on. But but the funny part to me is I gave them the basic, hey there, just saw your fall and was wondering how I might know you. They gave me a down thumb and said, I thought you were an AMC GME HYMC apes oops. And then they unfollowed me. And it was like, it was pretty obvious that they were an AMC follower. I'm going to write them back right now just because I feel really, really stinking bad about it. Oh, you guys probably can't see it. There we go. I'm going to write them back right now and be like, I said, dude, my bad. I'm really sorry. You got the generic question, but somehow I made a mistake. I'll follow you back. I don't. If they don't follow me, whatever. I don't. It doesn't matter to me. But um, I thought that was really funny though. So I'll give them a follow. Didn't mean to do that. And of course, this is like July 26th. This is like 2 weeks ago. I'm just now getting back to them. But it's. I think you guys should be really careful. The reason that I'm throwing this up here for you guys to see is I just want you guys to. Myself says stop apologizing. I just want you guys to see that there are accounts out there that are harmful, and I want you guys to kind of protect yourself a little bit. Like verify who it is that's following you on Twitter. Don't just let just anybody follow you and just accept it. Like question it, find out what their intentions are, and you know, be active. Be active in what it is that you're doing and who you're letting follow you. So Nikki says to check my DMs. All right, hold on. Which I don't do usually unless I'm on break, but let me check it. They watch AMC. Okay. Danny says it's the lady with 8 kids. That's funny, man. Tasu says, Tasu 2006 says, hi Casey, I started following you on Twitter. My thumbnail is a Mad Max young boy. I'm not very active on Twitter. Did I not follow you back, Tasus? If I didn't follow you back, I'll look for it. Let me see here. Hold on a second. You said the Mad Max? Do me a favor and send me a message if you can. If you can't send me a message, let me know. Sometimes some people fall through the cracks here. I try to keep up with all my stuff, but it happens where some people just accidentally fall through the cracks and I don't follow back. But I try to follow every single person back that I can because I figure like if you want to hear what it is I've got to say, then I want to hear what it is you've got to say. Maccabee says you crack me up, dude. I'm different, man. I'm different. Sorry. Wait, hold on a second. I gotta take a break here for a second. I had to laugh a little extra loud there. I gotta get away from the mic. Sam says, I have a feeling Adam Aaron is going to simultaneously drop multiple new ventures, just like the guy playing chess against multiple players. Sam, I'm kind of that's my opinion as well. I think there's going to be multiple things. It's not just one. Myself says the more I watch Casey, the more I think I've got ADD. You know, it's possible. It's possible. If you've never been tested, you don't know. You know what, guys? Danny, I don't want to give away what you do for a living, but Danny's gonna have to go back to work here soon, and Danny's living up life right now. He is, he's getting really close to having to go back to work here real soon, so he's loving life. He's like in that he's like in that party mode because he knows that it's time to get back to work, and it's myself calls him out. Okay, thanks myself. way to way to throw him under the bus. To all teachers listening, you guys are my heroes. I know we talk about nurses. I know we talk about firefighters. I know we talk about police officers as being heroes, doctors, whatever you want to call it, military service members, but teachers. Teachers are heroes in my opinion too. So, if you guys are a teacher and you're listening, thank you for your service. You guys are way underappreciated. However, here comes the big but. I'm going to give you guys a butt sandwich here. However, our school systems are jacked up, and the reason that you guys don't get paid enough is because the money is being there's too many big chiefs, too many people getting paid that shouldn't be getting paid the money that they get paid. And the reason that it doesn't roll downhill to you guys as teachers is because of the fact that we have just too many chiefs out there. Um, I don't know. I really feel like teachers need to get paid more. Hey, Chris, you're welcome, man. It's not easy being a teacher. It really isn't. You guys, I don't know how you do it. Quite honestly, I really don't know how you do it. I don't know how you put up with some of the asshole kids these days. But more props to you for doing it. Nasir says, "What about truck drivers?" I definitely agree that truck drivers are underappreciated. I don't know if I'd call them heroes, but I definitely think that they're underpaid for sure. Preschool in California has three principals being paid 120K plus each, but doesn't have a budget to cover paper. This is what I'm talking about, Sam. Whatever happened back in the day, we used to. This is what's crazy to me. I don't understand. I see the same thing happening here in Texas. They have like a vice principal for each grade level, and I'm going like, what the hell is going on? Why did you need four, like especially in like high school? Why did you need four vice principals for a high school when all that you ever needed before was one? Why? Why is this happening? Why is there so many people who are taking on these vice principal jobs in a high school where there's four of them? You don't need a vice principal for every grade level. That's not what that job is for. Maybe you need more counselors, but you don't need more vice principals. Come on, guys. It's getting ridiculous. It's absolutely getting ridiculous. The reason that our teachers aren't getting paid what they need to get paid is because we have funding that is going to the wrong places. People are paying people who are paying people who pay people who pay people. But all the right people who are supposed to be getting paid aren't getting paid. People really need to start looking into their school systems and seeing where the money's going. Um, that's something I really think that I would advocate for after this is all over. I would advocate for um, more for people to looking into more. What am I trying to say here? More people looking into where money is being spent in school systems. Where's the fat? Find the fat, cut the fat. Let's get the money into the people's hands that actually need to be helping our students be good people when they grow up, smart individuals. Let's put that into the hands of the people who are actually doing the teaching. Let's get rid of the fat. That's not where I'm not trying to run for office. It's just we all see the problems, guys. We all see the problems, but we're not stepping up and doing anything about it. We all have to step up. We got to go into our teachers associations, and we need to start looking at where money's being spent, and we need to say no. We just got to say no. You've got a problem with your spending inside of where you're putting your money, and this is how it needs to improve. We need to stand up as a society together and say enough is enough. Teachers need to get paid more. We don't need more chiefs. Um, I don't know, man. It's so frustrating to talk about because there's just so many things to improve. The Big Tramp says, "What about minors, dude? Minors have it rough, man. At least from what I can see in the movies. But again, not heroes. Not in my opinion. Well, that they're hmm, not that they're not heroes, but they're. I mean, because there's definitely been some stories out there of people who are heroes that are minors. But in general, the job itself is not a hero type job, in my opinion. Bull run. Let's see what happens, man. Let's see if we become heroes in the end. Uh, I'll tell you what. This is a fun little exercise. What do you think of Billy the Kid? Is he a hero or is he just an outlaw? And I think history has an interesting way of making people start out as outlaws, but then over time they become heroes. It just takes enough time to pass before people don't understand what the true story was all about, and they kind of become heroes in a sense. And so I have a feeling, in a roundabout way, retail investors are going to probably end up being the evil villains at first, but over time will probably turn into the heroes. Sam says, I'm sorry, but we spent 95% of our budget on the drag show. Oh, man. Oh, man, Sam. Tell me that's not true. Oh, my gosh. That sounds so bad. Myself is saying you want to say history will turn Biden into a hero. I'll tell you what. I've lived through quite a few presidents in my time myself, and I remember living specifically through the Reagan administration as a child. Reagan was not liked in the 80s. I remember there was a lot of political satire. He was not well liked. He had poor ratings. Um, Reagan just really wasn't liked at all when he was president. Strangely, after he left office, probably give him about 10 years afterwards, and people really kind of missed Reagan a bit. And I think I think some of the things that he did during his presidency were seen as being more epic than what they were at the time. So yeah, there's a good chance that presidents who weren't that great of a president during the time or seen during the time turn into better presidents over time. He wasn't. Reagan was not liked very much at all. In fact, his approval ratings were very, very low back in the day. Hey, Jesus, make sure you send me that message. I want to make sure that if I'm not following you on Twitter, that I do. If you can get a message out to me. Tim, our cup and handle, let's take a look at it. I think I forgot to do the 12 o'clock reading on the numbers, guys, but I'm going to pass it for right now. But let's see. We're still looking really strong here. I mean, I said anywhere between $18 and 18.30 would be kind of the top of the backside of our mug here, or cup, whatever you want to call it. Um, so we've hit that. We've hit that target. Anytime dropping down to the 16 range would be the finisher. We had what appeared to me to be a head and shoulder pattern formation, which I've got outlined here in some of these lines. Get rid of these lines right here. This was the head and shoulder pattern that I thought was going to occur right here, and did not. Actually, this should be up here. This head and shoulder pattern did not occur. Um, we'll have to see what happens. We're starting to build what appears to be look. I need to draw a new Fibonacci retracement, but it does look like we have a level of resistance somewhere in the $18 range. So let me go hit the restroom real quick, and I'll come right back, and we'll take a look and see where that. I'll draw up some new Fibonacci retracements. Desus, I'll look at it right now. I'm gonna fix it right now. You'll be able to send me a message. Hold on 1 second. I'll find your reply or your tweet. Oh no, I retweeted it. So, gosh darn it. That means you tweeted on his. So I don't know where. It sucks. Hold on a second. Hopefully you did it recently and it'll show up recently. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find it and make sure. Let me hit the restroom real quick. I'll be right back, guys. All right, hold on a second here. Let me see if I can find. I want to find Tassus's post here. Give me 1 second. Hey, do me a favor and like that Adam Aaron retweet, and I might be able to see you show up on there because it should show up in my notifications if you do that. Because I'm not seeing it. Somebody said inverted head and shoulders. Maybe not. I mean, it really was looking like a head and shoulder pattern, and then it didn't complete like it was supposed to. It was falling really, really well right up until about 1300, and then completely started deviating away from what it was supposed to be doing, um, which is making it look like it's more like a potential um, bullish triangle, is what it's starting to look like. Jeff says Ronald Reagan, there was an honesty or wholesomeness for family unity as a country. He cut the budget, removed the fat from the useless programs, lowered income tax, and kept rates low. One of my favorite presidents. But you know what else he did, Jeff? I don't know if you know this or not, but he did. I want to call it asylum, not asylum, but he also forgiveness on crossing the border illegally. I can't. He allowed or he signed off on the approval of forgiveness for people who had crossed the border illegally. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't remember that or know. I'm quite honestly of the opinion that we need to get rid of the stupid border. Not many people are going to agree with me on this, but I have this really weird idea. I think there's a way to solve a lot of our problems. Yeah, Star Wars program. I think it was definitely known for that for sure. Listen to this idea, guys. Check this out. What if do you remember when Obama signed into law um, there was how many trillion of dollars did he sign into effect? Was it like I can't remember what the number was. It was like $4 trillion or $8 trillion or something like that he signed off on. Think about this for a second. What if we had a bill that allowed us to give to elected officials in South America, um, specifically Mexico, um, a budget of like $4 or $8 trillion, to where we basically said like we're going to pay you X amount of dollars and we're going to annex Mexico into the United States. We're going to get rid of borders and Mexico will just become part of the United States. Get rid of the borders. Now all of a sudden you have your drug problems gone. Why? Because it's part of the United States now, and it's governed by the laws of the United States of America, meaning that we can attack the drug lords. I think we just annex Mexico into the United States, make it part of the United States, and you know, put some money aside to pay off the elected officials to just kind of disappear, and next thing you know, you've got a larger United States, and we don't have to worry about borders anymore. Any border that we do have to worry about is a much smaller one. Myself said yes and do the same to Canada. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with annexing Canada and the United States too, and just call it like a just big North America. But I don't think people want to do that. But I think it would solve our border problems. Let's just get rid of the borders altogether. There's just no reason why we need to have them. Let's uh, let's just start working together, making things better. Get rid of the borders altogether, and just let's all just work as people. I know it sounds really strange and wild and crazy, and you go like, how in the world would you make that work? But if you want to make things start working, that's what you do. You just have to start working together with people. People have to start working together and make things better. And borders just define, you know, a group of people that separates, and that's not what we need. I'm out climbing. He says, terrible idea. It would be rough. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm out climbing. That would be a really rough transition at first, right? I understand that there would be a lot of problems at first, but I think over time, I think it would actually, I think it would be a good thing. But it's just an idea. Absolutely unrealistic. It could be, or you could make it work. It just depends on how you want to look at it. We got to push to 1804, guys. We might be pushing together this. Um, oh, unless I got to knock it through. I'll be right back. I hate solicitations. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them with a passion. I used to do door to door sales, guys. I hate it with a passion. Like I know all the tricks. I know all the things that they do, and it just like it's kind of one of those things where like if you've been a part of it in the past, it just you see it and you're just like, it annoys me. Rule number one: whenever they want to hand you something at the door, just say no. Just say no. Don't accept anything that they hand to you at all. They always try to put something in your hand. Anytime they try to get your name or your phone number or anything like that at all, don't give it to them. The reason that I say that is because what they're going to do is you're going to go to your next door neighbor and say, "Yeah, your next door neighbor, so and so, Casey said that he was going to get us, he was going to use our service. Screw that." And I gave out my name though. I gave it out to him, and I knew what I was doing when I did it, and I was like, "Damn it, why did I do that?" I shouldn't have given him that information. Arthur says, "Casey, I'd like to talk to you about your van's extended warranty." Yeah, just shut the door. Shut the door and just don't give them any information. They'll use it against you. They'll use it on the neighbors. Jordan says, unless someone is selling shower curtain rings, buy that shit. Captain Austin says, I just yell at him to come back with a warrant. You know what the crazy part to this was is that they knocked on the door in such a way that made me know that it was going to be a solicitation. When the knock happened, it was like one of those annoying knocks where you're like, oh yeah, that's not somebody I know. I instantly knew, and it was funny because Seth was over here, my son, he's over here standing over here, and he's like, as soon as he heard the knock too, and he like looked up, and we both kind of like did this look like a dog might do when they first hear the knock on a door, and they're like, huh? Danny, you're accidentally deleting people's messages, I think. Yo says a sales knock. We all know that. Yeah, it's the same knock every damn time, and you're just like, I know what that knock is. It's not what I want it to be. Normal Cat, your messages got deleted accidentally. Normal Cat said, I just say I don't live here, and then I'm the burglar. Yeah, I could never slam the door on them. It's a tough job. I know I've done it before, so I wouldn't slam the door on them. But guys, it's time to take a look at our numbers here in about 7 minutes. Jordan, I don't know. I don't remember that movie. And I apologize to anybody who said important things up above and that I may have glanced over, but this comment section is going pretty quick here, so I'm just trying to keep up. Cash to be made. Aloha. Which island? Oh, Maui. Nice. I've been to Maui before. Not a bad island. You know, I don't know if this is the same. If this is probably not true anymore. I went there in 1996. Um, And in 1996, I was, let's see, how old was I? I would have been 20 years old. I was 20 years old when I went to Maui. Not old enough to be able to rent a vehicle, and so because I wasn't old enough to rent a vehicle, we had to figure out a way to be able to get around. And what we found, an interesting little thing back then, I don't know if it's the case anymore, is that you can actually rent limos uh, by the hour for a cheaper rate than you can get taxied around in like a regular taxi. It's a cheaper rate, legit. So if you ever planning on going to Maui, look into it. You might actually find that it's cheaper to rent a limo by the hour. Yeah, I did door-to-door sales very briefly when I was right out of high school. It was a very short-lived period of time where I kind of got hoodwinked into. It was supposed to be a marketing job, and my mom found it. She found it in the paper or something like that. I don't remember where she found it, and so I went to go apply for the position, and they wanted me to show up and make sure I looked my best. So I showed up in a tie and everything, and it ended up just being door-to-door sales. It really wasn't what it was cracked up to be. It didn't last for very long. Cash to be made says yes, you can still do that. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy to think that you can rent an hour on a limousine for cheaper rate than a taxi. Cash to be made says one of my friend's businesses is that exact concept. He owns two Lincoln Town cars, two Escalades, and two limos. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy to think that a rental on a vehicle for an hour to have somebody chauffeur you around some places is cheaper than getting a taxi. Just about time for us to start taking a look at the numbers here, guys. Give me just a couple more minutes. Yucca Frida says mobile strip club. Well, the interesting thing was is that depending on where you're staying at compared to where the airport is in Maui, it could take you an hour just to drive from one location to the next. So just rent a limo, get the limo ride there and ride in style. Casey, all right. So Jeff, I said I was going to take a look at the numbers, so I got about 2 more minutes before I start pulling up next levels. Let me do another Fibonacci draw on previous historical prices, and we'll see what we're looking at here. I like what I just drew. It works. It's temporary, but it's going to work for where we're at right now in pricing. And I'm actually going to get rid of one of the other ones. Give me just a second here. There we go. So it looks like the next level of resistance and support is going to be at $18.37. There might be another one in here that I might be missing, but I think that might be the next spot. We definitely got a little bit of support here currently at the 1802, 18 range that we just broke out above. Subhazard Boss says, I hope Caitlin Nelson is fine. Haven't seen her for a few days. It does seem like Caitlin's been gone a little bit. We could try to reach out to her. Let's take a look at our numbers, though, guys. It is time. I'm not going to be able to see what it is you guys are writing at this point, so hold those thoughts specifically for me until after I get back. And you see the big tramp on the page. Two-factor authentication. If you don't have two-factor authentication, you may want to consider it. Could help keep somebody out of your account that you don't want to be in your account. And if you don't like it, you can always take it off if your broker allows it. Give me a second while I move a couple pages around, and we'll take a look at the numbers. Alrighty, let's take a look at what we got going on here. Starting with off exchange. An hour ago it was 56.86 and 15.31 on the CBOE EDGX. We're going to refresh those and see what those are at now. $57.85 and 14.77 for a grand total 72.62% of our volume going through those off exchanges, which is very high. Those are I would expect it at the end of the day to see around 64%, and that's almost 10% higher. It's getting really up there. An hour ago, actually it's 2 hours ago, because I think I forgot the at 12 o'clock numbers. 2 hours ago, there was 1.18 million shares having been returned according to Ortex. That is now 1.62. That's going to have the effect of lowering the estimated current short share interest of the free float to 18.85%. Cost to borrow is at 9.39 average. Max is at 16.4. Min is at 7.94. Shares on loan day over day was a drop from it was a drop by 8.4 million shares to 135.48 million shares. 3 million of that was short interest, roughly. Taking a look at options. An hour ago at an $18 strike price, there were 16.4 thousand contracts. There is now 21.3. That was 2 hours ago, sorry. Puts. 2 hours ago, there was 11.5 thousand contracts at a $15 strike. There's now 12.5. Less than a 2-to-1 ratio in call volume versus put volume, and the market's still suggesting a closing price somewhere between $15 and $18 based off of these options. Orders by Fidelity customers. AMC was in 13th an hour or 2 hours ago. Let's see where we're at now. Maybe still the same. Yeah, it looks like we're still in 13th. We have 45% buys to 55% sales, which is lower than I like to see. GME coming in at 28th with a 50-50 buy-sell ratio. 60-40 is like the minimum that I like to see, and we're much lower than that. So that's not good, but it is what it is. SSR trigger price for the day today is $15.17. They have borrowed additional shares in the last 2 hours. They returned they had borrowed 2 hours ago, then borrowed 150 here, another 50 here, making it 200,000, and then returned shares. So 200,000 additional shares borrowed in the last 2 hours for a grand total of 5.45 million shares borrowed for the day today. 65.3 thousand contracts are out of the money on the calls versus 66.3 thousand contracts that are in the money. We have not seen this kind of balancing in a while. I hope people are making on the money on these options. I really do. I hope that they don't hold too long. That's all I'm going to say. 47.3 thousand contracts are out of the money on the puts versus 1.4 thousand contracts that are in the money. NASDAQ is up 2.56, Dow Jones is up to 1.33, and the S&P 500 is up 1.61. We currently have 4,758 advancers to 2,072 decliners in the market. The VIX is down 8.4%, VTI is up 1.65, IWD is up 1.12, Tesla is up 2.19, Amazon is up 4.53, Cinemark is up 3.24. Doge is up 1.89. Bitcoin is up 1.76. GME is up 4.05. HYMC is down 3.01. Hood is up 13.43%. NCMI is up 4.24 and AMC is up 6.95%. Taking a look at inflow versus outflow, there's roughly 29 million shares or $29 million more in outflow than inflow, with 31.31 million shares having been traded for the day today, with only a little less than 120 minutes left. We've traded for 276 minutes of the day, putting us on pace for about 44.24 million shares by the end of the day today. That's obviously going to drop just a little bit before the end of the day. That is much, much lower than what pre-market volume was suggesting we would see. And in fact, I had guessed between 70 to 90 million shares traded for the day today, which is way high for what we're seeing. So I need to make a little bit of an adjustment off of my predictions based off of this morning's market volume, which is a good thing to note. Taking a look at the weekly, I hate being high, so I don't like the fact that I'm wrong on this. On the weekly, we have more buying pressure than selling pressure with an RSI of 52.38, which is slightly above average. On the daily, we have more buying pressure than selling pressure with an RSI of 66.38, which is above average. On the hourly, more buying pressure than selling pressure with an RSI of 79.69. Overbought almost the entire day today. It did dip down slightly at market open, but still signaling overbought. On a 30-minute interval, we have more selling pressure than buying pressure with an RSI of 68.1, above average. More selling pressure than buying pressure on a 5-minute interval with RSI at 62.81, which is, again, above average. And with that, I can see what it is you guys are writing again. Oh, I was buffering again. Every single day I'm going over ADD Mac and B's. Duh. Bull Run says, damn solar storms. Hey, solar storm today is minor, but it will affect GPS internet power grid. Northern light to be seen as far south as Michigan and Maine. Wow. Dre Mullen says, hello, Casey. Just found you on YouTube and I'm following. Thanks for your stream. It's really helpful. Can we ask questions here? Absolutely. I consider this to be a learning historical documentary of what's happening with AMC. Asking questions is okay. I don't necessarily have all of the answers. However, I will do my darndest to try and figure out the answer with you. So ask away. I try to get to everybody's questions. Please note that sometimes it gets more busier than others, and if I skip over it, um, just ask again. Kathy, I love it too, man. I really do. I was telling somebody else in a private DM earlier that while this is stressful for me because it's like not within my level of comfortability to do what it is that I'm doing right now, um, it's fun to talk with you guys. So you guys help me. You help keep me going. Yeah. Just note, Dre Mullins. Note that when the charts are up on when you don't see the big tramp, when you don't see the big tramp on the screen, then I'm probably not answering questions. Just look for the big tramp. You gotta. Only the big tramp allows questions. Yucca Frida said, "Skip me, skip me." one of my favorite answers from one of my moderators before was is that anytime somebody gets pissed at you when you don't answer their question, just tell them you'll make sure and refund them their super chat. That's the best. That's the best one. Darren says the answer is ask Pantheon. It's not a bad answer. Just saying. Dre Mullen says, I have an easy question. I have two AMC $16 calls at 94 cents that went in the money. Um, is there a way to hedge till earnings, or am I looking at holding the profits wrong? So I can't unfortunately give you advice on that. I can't give you financial advice on those kind of things, Dre Mullins. What I will say is this: is that I've been a long time supporter, and you're going to find out just the more you listen, is that I think that in regards to options and AMC, I feel like there's a lot of pressure to create positions or make positions available for people to buy that end up expiring out of the money. So I'm just going to throw that out there that you know I hope you win. I hope you win on your options plays. I am not an options expert by any means. I hope that you can collect on those $16 calls and you can collect a fair amount of money. I do read on the hour. I try to read it on the hour every hour. Some of the numbers and where what the market's kind of signaling for, and hopefully that information can help you. But unfortunately, man, I can't give you advice like that. I really wish I could, but I can't. Yucca Frida says, Casey, would I be hurting the AMC play if I sell weekly AMC calls? Hmm. No. Well, this is a very trick question that you're asking here. What I want you to be concerned, what I'm more concerned about, Yucca Frida, is that if you'll notice in the description box that I have here, rule 1, 2, and 3, that would be violating rule number 3 because if you're trading in a margin account, which you would be doing, then you're probably at risk. So, so yes and no. It's kind of a multi-answered question. Um, Mac and B says, Casey, you keep me up. It's kind of a trick question. And truthfully, I think the honest answer for me is that refer to my rules, rule number 1, 2, and 3, in the description box. We don't have to agree, and we can still be friends, but that's just how I feel. I think there's too much at risk to be in a margin account on AMC. They expire on 8/5. Yeah, you're look for the right time, Dre. Make sure you're out of your position before everybody else is. That's all I gotta say. Make your money, man. Make your money. Uh, I've been very adamant around here about 70. If you're not winning like 75, 80% of the time on option plays on AMC, then you're probably not doing the right thing, and to avoid it. So if you're consistently winning on options, great. More power to you. Keep doing what you're doing. We need people like you. But more often than not, we have people who are losing money on option plays on AMC. Rewired is asking me to post my Discord link. Okay. Mount St. Funk 9 says you can sell covered calls in a cash account, right? I don't. If you can, that's news to me. I guess actually that makes sense that you could. It kind of makes sense that you could because it's not like you're. I would feel like you'd have to have at least you'd have to have like at least a level level 2 access. in order to do that with a cash account. That might be possible. But I will say this: if you sell covered calls, then you're risking losing your shares. So if you lose your shares in a covered call, you're hurting our position. I'm actually not positive. I don't know whether or not you have to have I think you have to have. It might be possible to have a cash account and sell them if you have level two access through your broker. But that would be the only way. I'm not positive on that. I've never actually tried, so I can't speak with authority on it. It would be something you'd need to talk to your broker about. I feel like you'd need a margin account, but I'm not positive of it. I'm out climbing says just have to have the 100 shares and basic options access. Yeah, see that's the level two that I'm talking. So you would need that access. That's the part that you would. That's the part that I'm thinking you'd at least have to have that because there's no way if you were just in a cash account, just strictly alone, that you would be able to have access. You'd have to have access to level two options. Mount St. Fuck says I said funk. There was an N in there somewhere. No C. Mount St. Funk says, "Yeah, you would never do it, but my account has the option to sell covered calls. I do have level two options trading. I think that makes sense to me. It makes sense that if you had a cash account and you had level two access, that you could do that. But you would have to have you'd have to have that level two. Why do you guys keep shouting out Hot Koch NFT? What's the deal? What's going on? Is this for real? What the hell? Cash to be made says I have a cash account and I've sold covered calls before. Do you have level two access? Because that would make sense to me to be able. I mean, because all you have to have is 100 shares, right? A covered call would be easy to, but you'd have to have that level two access, I would think. Yeah, you do have to. See, that makes sense to me. That really makes a lot of sense because I mean, all you got to have is the 100 shares, and with the level two access, it would give you the option to be able to create the sell order. So that makes sense. But more often than not, most people deal with that kind of stuff um, in a margin account. So, well, maybe not always. I guess it depends on what it probably really depends on is what kind of um, how much of a baller you are. The bigger the baller, the more likely you're probably just working off of a cash account, I guess. Maybe that's not true. I don't know. That's actually a good question. I'm kind of curious now. I have to start asking some people just to kind of see. The big ballers, I would think, from in my mind, would actually be margin accounts, but I'm talking about like a big baller through cash accounts, though. You guys are too much with the whole hot koch stuff going on right here now. Yeah, that makes sense to me. I'm out climbing, selling covered calls. As long as you've got that level two access, you should be able to do it. It makes sense. But again, if you're losing, you're not helping the situation here, right? You're handing over shares to somebody. if they exercise. Alrighty, guys, it's 1:20. I'm PS PS. I am not an options expert. I will never, ever, ever claim to be an option expert with you guys at all, ever. But I know enough about the market and how options work that I can discuss it um, and make sense of it. But I'm probably the worst person to get advice from on trading options. So I'm gonna head to break here, guys. I see the question in here. I'm just kind of like reading through, and I see the question about CFDs. Andrew Williams says, "Does anyone know the difference between CFD and normal shares?" And I honestly don't. I've never dealt with CFDs before. It's a contract for difference, which allows traders to speculate on the future market movements of underlying assets without actually owning or taking physical delivery of an underlying asset, which means that the difference between a share or ownership of a share versus a CFD means is you never actually own anything with the CFD. There's never any ownership of the asset whatsoever. CFD, yeah, it says right here, CFDs are available for a range of underlying assets such as shares, commodities, and foreign exchanges. So there's no ownership. It's just a speculative move. Which, if I had to guess, like if you wanted to talk about, something that would be similar to that, which describes that, would be like the VIX, right? You don't own shares. There's no shares on the VIX. It's a speculative move of futures. That might be a good. Actually, let me check and see if that's a good example of one. In addition to futures and options on the VIX, which have been introduced, you can now get contracts for different CFD on the value of the VIX, and this represents the best way for many traders who want to take a direct conjecture on the direction that it will move. Um, there's no ownership though. Well, I don't know what it is you're talking about, Andrew. So specifically, so I don't know what it is that you're involved in or anything like that. So please, check into what it is that I'm saying, verify it. Um, just verify, verify, verify. Don't take any one person's word for anything, really. I can't. I've done it so many times, man. I understand. I get it. Like somebody gives you an answer and you're just like jump on it and like, oh yeah, that must be right. But find out for yourself for sure. All right, I'm gonna take a break, guys. I'm gonna head out. We'll be back at 2:10. No, yeah, yeah. I'll be back at 2. I'm gonna put up a message in here. I've never ever dealt with CFDs ever in my entire life, so again, another thing I would not be an expert to talk to about. Alrighty, guys. See you in a bit. I'll be back at 2 o'clock for the power hour.
Hey, it's Benji from All Good Folks. If you love our music and you want to support Upbeat's amazing community of artists, upgrade to Premium today and help us keep creating great new tracks for you.
Well, I'm back, guys. It is the Power Hour, and as usual, per the Power Hour, we toast to the end of the day today. It's good to see you guys all here, and I'm going to toast to being like a bunch of Fonzies. Cool. Because we don't need to freak out every time price moves up 6%, 9%, 5%, whatever it does move up. Um, we're just going to be cool. Remember your five whys, guys. Five whys, guys. Like a hamburger. Remember why you're there. Why are you here? What are you doing? When people start asking you what you're a part of or why you're here doing what it is you're doing, have your five whys. I don't care what your whys are. I really don't. Your five whys aren't the same as my five whys, but I want you to have your five whys. Know what they are, remember them, and that way when people ask you, they'll see the conviction. So cheers to a bunch of Fonzies, because you're all cool in my book. Cheers. Oops. Guess I spelled it wrong. Deux. My bad. It might have been a. I think I probably just misspelled it, so I just changed it. It makes me wonder if I've always typed it that way or if I've accidentally if I just got it wrong today. I think I may have just gotten it wrong today. I don't know. Maybe I just misspelled it all the wrong all the time. I don't know. Thank you for the correction. It's fixed. Maccabee says, "No worries. I'm your personal Frenchie corrector." Frenchie? Frenchie? Is that you, Frenchie? Alex Reed says, "I used to be cool 16 years ago." Well, there's never enough time to not be cool again. I said that backwards. There's always plenty of time. There's always plenty of time to be cool again. That's what I meant to say. Let's take a look at the numbers. Last time for the end of the day. You got us. You got us, Mac and Bees. Two-factor authentication, guys. If you don't have it, you may want to consider it. It's gonna get old, I know. Bear with me though, guys. I've got to consistently talk about that kind of stuff. I think two-factor authentication could help save you in the future from having somebody get into your account that you don't want in your account. You might want to consider it. When you guys don't see the big tramp on the screen, hold your questions for me directly as I will not see them. But let's take a look at what we got going on here with our numbers. Off exchange, as of an hour ago, was 57.85 and 14.77 in the EDGX. It is now currently at 58.17 and 14.87 for a grand total of 73.04% of our volume for the day today going through those two off exchanges alone. It's very high. An hour ago, there was a total of 1.62 million shares having been returned. Vortex now reporting a return of 2.62 million, which is an additional 2 million shares. That's going to have the effect of lowering the short share interest of the free float to 18.77. Cost per hour average at 9.39. Cost per hour max at 16.4. Min is at 7.94. Shares on loan did decrease day over day by 8.4 million to 135.48 million shares on loan. About, roughly estimating, 3 million of that was short interest. Take a look at the options. At an $18 strike price an hour ago on the calls, there was 21.3 thousand contracts. There's now 23.6. And on the puts, at a $15 strike price, there was 12.5 thousand contracts an hour ago. There's 13 now. A little less than a 2-to-1 ratio in calls versus puts, but still signaling for a closing price somewhere between 15 and 18. Orders by Fidelity customers. AMC currently in 12th with 44% buys at 56% sales. I don't usually like seeing that lower than 60-40. GME is coming in here at 30th, barely making the list here with low volume in orders with a 50-50% buy to sell ratio. Looks like GME is struggling with that volume. Trigger price for AMC today would have been $15.17. It does look like they may have returned. It looks like they borrowed some additional shares and maybe returned them. Let me see if I can determine. I already counted these, so I'm not going to count these again. The fees are at 6.8%, and the total amount of shares for the day borrowed so far is 5.45 million shares for the day, which is extremely high. 74.2 thousand contracts are out of the money on the calls versus 57.4 thousand contracts that are in the money. 47,000 contracts are out of the money on the puts versus 1.7 thousand contracts that are in the money. NASDAQ is up 2.66, Dow Jones is up 1.4, and the S&P 500 is up 1.7. We currently have 4,778 advancers to 2,083 decliners. The VIX is up VIX is down 8.65%. VTI is up 1.73. IWD is up 1.18. Tesla's up 2.6. Amazon is up 4.54. Cinemark is up 2.87. Doge is up 2.2. Bitcoin's up 2.2. GME is up 4.1. HYMC is down 4.75. Hood is up 11.39. NCMI is up 4.85. And AMC is up 5.9%. Inflow versus outflow, we have $33 million more in outflow than inflow. Volume is at 34.66 million shares traded for the day today so far. So let me just figure out the math on this real quick here. We've traded for 339 minutes so far, putting us on pace to close out the day really darn close to 40 million shares traded for the day today. However, I'm gonna tell you guys right now that we're my prediction this morning was 70 to 90 million shares, so we're well underneath that. So they did this tremendous job of decreasing volume throughout the day today, in contrast to what we were seeing in pre-market volume. Wouldn't have anticipated this low. I could have seen us going a little bit lower, 50, maybe 55 million, but this 40 million is going to be kind of nutty. On the weekly, more buying pressure than selling pressure with an RSI of 51.95, which is about average. On the daily, we have Vortex indicator showing more buying pressure than selling pressure with an RSI of 65.61, which is above average. On the hourly, more selling pressure than buying pressure with an RSI of 72.71, signaling overbought for multiple days now. On a 30-minute interval, we have more buying pressure than selling pressure with an RSI of 60.92, which is above average. And on a 5-minute interval, we have more selling pressure than buying pressure with an RSI of 43.06, which is slightly below average. For our 4-hour cup and handle, I do think that we've reached the top of the other side of the cup. I think it's time to start forming a handle. Potentially watch price walk down over the next 24 to 48 hours, down to probably the 16 range. We got a trampoline set up for it. And with that, I can see what you guys are writing. Big Tramp says, are we winning? You tell me. What kind of hand are you holding on to? Brian says, if I had a beard, I'd trim it flat at the bottom like the ZZ Top guys. Yeah, I just don't like that look. I wanted it to be more in a point, so I have them shape it more into a point, which looked a little bit better when it was shorter. It's starting to look kind of weird long. I might I might square it off here soon. Brian says, yeah, volume was supposed to be 80 million. I think that's kind of what I thought volume was kind of heading towards was 80 million. Let me check it out, Yale. Expanded 5-day line chart. Um, I'm assuming that you're probably on like a 30-minute. Okay, so what you're seeing is this right here. I think maybe I don't know. I don't know what you're looking at. I don't see the Head and Shoulders that if you are talking about a Head and Shoulders, then it's over 5 days. Um, it might be like, let's see, two five. This might be it here, perhaps. Shoulder right here, the run up portion, the head here. But I quite honestly, I feel like this is a much more, when you look at this pattern that's right here and um, gosh, I'm having a problem with this word today. Um, the uniformity on both sides of this cup here is amazing. This run up right here, or run down rather, and this run up over here on the opposite side of the cup and handle, the consolidation that matches, followed by another run up and some more consolidation. We've completed the top, in my opinion. I see some huge uniform. I see like I can't think of the name of the word that I'm looking for. Damn it! Why can't I think of the freaking name? It's not uniformity. It's like when something matches on one side and the other. It's a word. I can't think of what it is. Son of a gun! Why does this happen to me with words? I hate it. Symmetrical. Thank you. Thank you, Ro. I really appreciate it. Symmetrical. I couldn't think of the word. It was just escaping me. Yes, symmetry. That's the word. Symmetry is the word. And I don't know why it was escaping me and I couldn't think of what it was. It is so frustrating, guys. It is really, really frustrating living life like this. I don't know what I'd do without you guys, honestly. I appreciate it, man. You guys are awesome. I love the fact that you guys don't judge me on it too. I think that's cool. Or maybe you do. Maybe you do judge me on it, and but you don't say anything publicly, and whatever. That's cool too. Well, I have that problem too, Grant. I can't spell either, so I can type though. The symmetry is amazing on that cup. Gosh darn it. Nat Nail says we love you. I love you guys too. You know what? We complete. You complete me. I need you guys. I need you guys to understand what it is I'm trying to say, and you guys get it. You know what it is I'm talking about, and I don't even have to know the words. I just you guys you're there for me. It's awesome. Doctor says snort nootropics. It'll sharpen your memory. Hold on a second. I'm gonna look it up. I doubt I'm gonna do this, but I'm gonna look it up, Doctor Zeno. What is this? Smart drugs are a class of substance that you can boost brain performance. They are sometimes called cognition enhancers or memory enhancing substances. Prescription nootropics are medicines that have stimulant effects. What are these ingredients? Oh, they have it at GNC, of course. To be honest, doctor, and I know you probably know what it is you're talking about. I just can't imagine snorting anything ever. Rose says, I think it would be most appropriate to not have a full handle but a broken one and then shoot up. Damn, that would be so cool. Dr. Zena says people with ADHD often use nootropics. Oh man, doctor, you're gonna get me to do something I don't want to do. What if I really enjoy it and then I'm snorting crap and the next thing I don't want to go down that road, man. I don't want to go down that road. I feel like, once you start snorting one thing, you're snorting everything. It's like, oh look, sugar. I wonder what that feels like. Next thing who knows what you're snorting. Sometimes you just gotta deal with life the way that it is, that it's dealt to you, and you don't have to find some kind of drug to make it better. You just have to figure out how to deal with it and make it funny. Not have all the answers. Dr. Zeno says, serves you right. You put that damn hot cotch in my head. You know what's more amazing to me than anything, Dr. Zeno, is the fact that I got his name right the very first time. Like legit, like I think I was probably trying to mispronounce it just to be funny, and then I actually said it right. I think that's the best part. Grant says the wife always rolls her eyes when I say enhancing. It's difficult to say, Hante song. It's difficult for me to say whether or not they used the 5 million borrowed shares there. We know that they've returned so far about 2 point, what did I say? 2.62. So of the 5.2, or yeah, I think it was 5.45 million shares that they borrowed so far for the day to day. We know that they've returned 2.62. So some of them were used towards returning of shares, perhaps, and I don't know what the others were used for. It's very very difficult to figure it out. But you know what though, doctor? I like mad scientists. Those are my favorite kind of doctors. I like eccentric thinking. It's outside the box. American Trader says, "Have you ever snorted a pixie stick? I did on a bet when I was in middle school. Never, never. I don't like snorting stuff. I just don't. I'm not into that. Hmm. So, Hyuntae, I'll say this. Um, the amount of security lending shares that were loaned in the last 24 hours was doubled. So let's take a look at something real quick here because I think you're asking an important question. I understand where you're going with this. Let me show you something real quick here, and I don't think that I'm going to be able to give you an answer, a specific answer, but maybe I can at least help you to see something. Security lending volume. Let's zoom in on yesterday's activity. You can see day over day, security lending volume went from 10.12 million shares loaned to 19.76, which is almost a doubling. So the question becomes, how many shares were being returned over that same period of time? So let me pull that data for you here real quickly. Hold on a second. Oops, that's not the right one. Hold on. No, that is the right one. Nope, that's not the right one. There it is. All right. This is going to be really difficult to see the way that I have it set up currently, so give me just a second. I'm going to take off the security lending volume. Just remember that about 10 million shares were loaned yesterday, and then about 19 million, sorry, reverse that. 10 million was borrowed 2 days ago, 19 million was borrowed yesterday. If we take away the security lending volume here, 2 days ago, 4.51 million shares were returned, meaning that they had borrowed double the amount, because remember it was 10. They had borrowed more than double the amount of shares that they returned, and then today, or yesterday rather, they returned 14 million shares after having borrowed 19. So the question is since they're not returning as many shares as they're loaning out right now, what are they going to do with those shares? What are they going to be used for? And I don't know the answer to that question. I can't I can't tell you. I don't know the answer. But they're definitely loaning out more than they're returning. But they're also dropping the shares that are on loan and the short interest, right? So they're getting short interest off the books. So if they're expecting price to run, and they're removing short interest because they know price is going to run, and how we know they're getting rid of new short interest is by taking a look at the on loan amount. Where is that on loan amount right here? Seeing that it decreased, and then looking at on loan amount average age per day increased. So the only way that you can return shares and have the average age of your shares that are on loan increase is if you return new loans. So most of everything probably yesterday was all new positions. So my answer to you would be this. What they're probably preparing to do is, if price is going to start running, they're probably going to open up new short positions in order to collect money on the downside, looking for the downside of the run up, whatever price they think their price is going to run up to. So we're probably going to see some new short interest coming in soon once price starts running upwards, which means more shares on loan. Hopefully that makes some sense. If I didn't do a good enough job of explaining that, please let me know and I'll try to think of a better way to explain it. But as of right now, Hyante, I'm expecting price to move downwards in the next 2 days. So maybe we see them open up the short interest. Actually, they did it today. I know for a fact they did it today, Hyante. Let me show you. We watched them do it today. They opened up the short interest today. We had. I'm gonna pull up the options chain over here. Look at this short interest that opened up here in volume today at a $15 strike price. There's 13,000 contracts that opened up at 15. It wasn't like this. This number was much lower towards these lower values down here that was more evenly balanced. And then all of a sudden, midday today, you can go back in the stream and check it out and look and see when I do the hourlies. You can see when they did it. They opened up a bunch of new short interest today at a $15 strike price. Somebody's expecting price to head back down within the next few days, because I guarantee you they're going to make some money on that position when it happens. Because I mean, we had almost a 5-to-1 ratio in call volume versus put volume this morning, and then it suddenly flipped to less than a 2-to-1 in puts versus call volume. So somebody's expecting it to drop down. I don't know who, but somebody is. I think they can, Amy. Yeah, absolutely. But be really careful, Hyuntae, because I really think that options is where a lot of long institutions are collecting their money from the premiums right now, and I think that the whole point right now for them is to try and collect as much money as possible from retail while they can. Um, and max pain is $15, and here we are sitting at 17.80. When was the last time we broke this high above max pain? It was a couple weeks ago, but before that, you can't really come up with a date probably that we broke that high above max pain. So just be really, really careful, man. Super careful. And if you're trying to short, I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. If you're trying to go short on the play by buying puts, I don't know, man. Yucca Frida, yes. If you lose, yes. Because when you lose on selling covered calls, you're losing shares, or you could lose shares. Silver Surfer says, in other words, the same options trap they've been running for months. Pretty much. Yeah, you don't have to tell me your position, Hyante. You don't feel like you need to tell me what your position is. I don't want to know. I don't want to know, man. Ray, I'm not sure when, if price does drop, I'm not sure when it's going to happen exactly, but oh, by the way, I've got two pieces of information for you guys I forgot about. Shoot, how did I forget about this? So Adam Aarons, first off, he had his tweets out earlier today. Um, Hold on a second, I just got a message I was reading there. It was kind of odd. So Adam Aarons said that the meeting tomorrow for the earnings report is going to be after an hour after market closes, which means I'm going to be offline by then. So I will not be streaming it tomorrow. You guys will have to pick it up someplace else. I will be listening in with you though. Um, so, but yeah, I'm not gonna stay late tomorrow. But the other part is this though. We were talking about not too long ago about credit, and the Q2 data is out now. And what I want to show you here is the percent of balance on the 90-day delinquency is down, not up, but actually down quite a bit on all of these. A lot of them. There was a little bit of a spike on the student loans, where it went up to 5.9 and then back down to 4.6. But most of these were all down except for the home line of credit, which actually rose from zero point 0.8 to 0.9%. But what I want to show you is this. These numbers are falling, and this is what I was looking at, but what I should have been looking at is this. This is the non-housing debt balance. Student loans, other credit cards, and auto loans. People aren't defaulting yet, but look at the Q1 results on different types of credit that are occurring right now. And I mentioned to you guys that there was likelihood that people were living off of a lot of credit, and that may be why there's still a lot of spending that's going on. It will only be a matter of time before some of this money turns into positive pressure on the percent of balance 90 plus days delinquent. So while these may be heading down currently, these numbers are heading up quite drastically. This is 2020 Q1 right here, where these dots are. I actually retweeted it so I would remember, but I saw it on when I was on break. Two things. There's just one more thing here. Credit card balances increased 13%, the highest in 20 years. This was put out by Unusual Whales 6 hours ago. Credit card, let that sink in. Credit card balances increased 13%, the highest in 20 years. The other part that I'm going to talk about here that I don't really know much about yet, and I'm going to look into this, I just kind of made a mental note to myself to get verification on this and impact awareness, is that there's somebody's posting here. Looks like the CDCC is going to stop dealing with the DTCC by the end of the day. I'm going to do some more research into this and what it's all about. I'm not sure yet. I haven't really looked into it. This is going to be my research for later tonight. But it says here Canadian Derivatives Clearing Corporation um, cease all activities and use of corporation service other than activities and service necessary to terminate the business of the participants with the corporation and ensure that all activities and use of corporation services by the participants cease on or prior to the voluntary retirement date. So I'm going to look into this. I'm not sure what this is all about yet, but I'm going to look into it. Thanks for my dollar. I don't know what that means, Alex. Yucca Frida, I think I did read your question. Amy, just when you wake up, you'll know. 2 weeks, Amy. 2 weeks, Amy. Come on. Covered cockles. Hyante, I understand, man. Um, you've got some tough choices. I know. I feel for you, man. Yeah, I probably will be talking to Pantheon about that issue. Yo, massive price increase, Amy. No, you're not dumb, not at all. I mean, just massive price increasing. Like you'll wake up and you'll just be like, "Holy crap, what the heck?" And then what's going to happen is you're probably going to blow me up on Twitter or Reddit or wherever it is, maybe Discord or someplace. You'll blow it up like being like, "What the heck's happening?" And everybody's going to be saying it like, "What's happening? Are we mooning?" You'll know. Arthur, thank you for the caps. Glad to see that you're excited. Roseanne says, Casey, any chance the Hedgies want to get this play over and done? They've been so exposed, manipulation, greed, etc. Public knows what they are all about. I really feel like, and this is an opinion that I've been holding for a long time, Roseanne, is that if they do want to get the play over, they're done. It's either bankruptcy or unless the government somehow manages to bail them out. But it's either bankruptcy or they win. Bankruptcy for them or bankruptcy for AMC, one of the two. I did not ban Danny R. Danny R. If Danny's gotten banned, I'll pull up. So we've been having problems with people getting randomly banned, and I'm trying to figure out why that is. Somebody's maliciously banning. That's a moderator. Well, I say maliciously. I shouldn't say maliciously. Somebody is accidentally. It could just be accidental, and I just don't know it. Accidentally banning people and it's very difficult. But let me go to my ban list here real quick and see if I can't figure it out. Holy moly, I'm getting buffered. Either YouTube's having like a major problem right now, or I'm just getting like massively buffered. One of the two. Arthur, don't worry about it. I was teasing you, man. I was just teasing. All right, let me go in here and let me see who's been banned. If you guys have ever been banned before from this, from um, yeah, there's some people who got banned. Dragon Warrior, who the heck is that? Dragon Warrior got banned. Rodrigo Khan, I've seen his name get banned multiple times. Does anybody know who Rodrigo Khan is? I'm putting him back on. Danny R is not banned though. He's not on the ban list. But there were at least one. There's at least one name there that I just added. Two names that I just added back on. Let me check one more time. All right, should be good. Danny was not on the list. Mike Roch is not banned. You got me to say it. Good one, yo. Nice one. It took me a second. Right over the top of my head. Bull Run's talking about the solar storm again, saying it's going to affect GPS internet power grid. Northern lights to be seen as far as Michigan and Maine. All right, Nikki, I'll do it. Knock, knock. Who's there? Who's there, Nikki? I'm not even sure how to say that. Atch? Atch who? That's way that's way not funny. That was so dumb. I'm sorry. I can't stop. I can't stop laughing. That was You know, the funny part to me, Nikki, wasn't that I said atch correctly, is that I wanted to say ache, ache. I wanted to say ache so bad, and I was like, that's not what she wants me to say. So that's pretty funny. Myself says, "Oh my God, I can't believe he fell for that." Oh man, Red Dog, good to see you, man. It's been a while. We have been getting some action. ABC, I haven't really been looking at I haven't been looking at their numbers. I do know that they have an earnings report that's coming up. I'll tell you what though, tomorrow um, there's supposed to be some exciting news according to Pantheon with the interview that they did. So if you have a chance, that's up. Oh shoot, I had it pinned up to the top earlier this morning in the morning live stream. Let me pin it back up to the top because I had to restart the stream earlier, so it disappeared. Let me pin it back up to the top. But that interview is going to be available to watch, I believe, tomorrow. I forget what time Pantheon said, but I think it's like I don't know. It might be really close to the same time that the quarterly meeting is happening. Right after market close. Okay. Ro says 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you. Thank you, Ro. Oh, hold on a second, guys. All right, I'm back. My wife was walking out the door. I just want to say goodbye. Big Tramp says SPY broke 414 resistance. It's moving quite nicely after that 410 level that I was suggesting that if it broke 410 that it could run pretty decently. You know what I want to see really bad, guys? What I really, really want to see is AMC higher than Cinemark. We are getting some late afternoon volume here. The volume has increased to about 100,000 shares a minute or higher. Some of the minutes as high as 265. They're in the 200 range. We've got some definite large amounts of volume coming through the later portion of the day today. Yes, Boss Blunts and Pantheon are interviewing the CEO of Highcroft. Gus says, "Is all my stock is green? Is that a good sign?" For now, it is. Right until it turns red. Doctor says, "Have you heard the gold-backed dividend pounce theory?" I have heard it. It was a long time ago. It's been a hot minute since I've heard about it. I don't necessarily buy into it. Um, there's some major holes in that theory. Really, really major holes that I just don't. I can't even imagine how they would. You don't just because you own owner or you have ownership of shares in a company doesn't mean that you get the gold that comes out of the ground. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not how it works. That's like saying like just because I own shares of AMC, I'm gonna walk in and just pick up a free popcorn whatever the hell I feel like it because it doesn't work like that. That's not how it works. You don't just walk into AMC because you're a shareholder and just get a free movie whenever the hell you feel like it. That's not how it works. So the idea that you're going to somehow manage to get gold out of ownership of stock in a gold mine, like it just makes no sense, man. It doesn't make any sense at all. Hey, Red Dog, do me a favor, man. I'm asking that people who have exited their position to just not advertise about stuff like that. So I haven't made that an official rule. I don't think on here yet. Let me see. Nope, I did make it a rule. When you exit your position with AMC, do so with silence. And you guys know what I mean. I knew you guys were gonna start saying like, "What you do get free pop?" Yeah, you know what I mean, guys. But yeah, there's a big difference. Yakafrida says, anyone who has exited the position, get the F out of the channel, laugh out loud with love, please. I mean, seriously, it's just like, it's good to see you. It's good to see you, Red Dog. It really is. But to, kind of come in and tell everybody I sold them, I didn't, I paper handed when I should have diamond handed. It's just kind of, it's contrary to what it is that I think people are trying to do here. So, you know, it's good to see you though. If AMC is hard to borrow, then why is the cost to borrow lower, Casey? Um, where are you seeing that it's hard to borrow? Well, actually, it's actually a simple question. There are just because it's hard to borrow doesn't mean that you can't move to a less hard to borrow position. Meaning, we've had over the last 2 days somewhere in the range of probably close to 12 million, somewhere between 10 and 12 million shares having been returned. That makes things a little bit easier to borrow, right? I mean, we saw five something million shares back up for borrowing this morning. So, um, it's definitely less hard to borrow when you've got more shares showing up. Mindshift Mastermind says, no mercy, Casey. No mercy. Red Dog says, all right, then I'm going to buy some tomorrow. All right, Red Dog, take care. We'll see you tomorrow then, after you buy. Bye bye. Just teasing, man. I'm teasing. Alex says, like in poker, if you're out, leave the table. Sam says the hardness of a hard borrowing ability is variable in hardnessity. I mean, it can vary. It can vary throughout the day at any given time, right? Like if shares suddenly become available, then it's less hard to borrow all of a sudden, and cost to borrow rates start going down, and then all of a sudden those shares get borrowed back again, and cost to borrow starts going up, and it's hard to borrow once again. So it fluctuates. It can fluctuate. Take care, Red Dog. You know how it is, Red Dog. I mean, this is kind of like the whole mantra is diamond handing, man. That's what it is. Casey, if they say they got rid of the covenant to prevent a dividend, how big of a dividend would they need to issue to cause the squeeze? Man, I mean, that's asking. I have no idea. I have no idea. Um, that's so hard to say. There's no way. I mean, look what happened with GME. They issued a 3-to-1. For every share that you had, you get 4 shares back. So I really don't know the answer to that. It could be something stupid as like Arthur Martin said. Oh no, 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 Doctor Zeno just said, a 1 cent dividend theoretically would be all that it could take. That could be very, very true. 1 penny could be all that it takes. I just don't know. I would have to know the financials of some of the institutions out there to know what would cause them the most damage. But Dr. Zeno's not wrong at all. 1 cent could theoretically be exactly all it would take to do it. Alex, you can't see Red Dog. That means that you've silenced Red Dog at some point or another, which could mean that it's somebody else that you may have silenced that's pretending to be Red Dog. Manjit, I use for cost to borrow, I use Ortex, and for failure to delivers, I typically use Ortex, but the same data is reported through this website that I'll give you right now. It was listed as a dividend, though, Dr. Zeno. I'm pretty sure that they listed it as a dividend. Do you see Jimmy hitting 500 again? Absolutely. BioLife Hemp says so theoretically, if there's 1 billion shorts and only 516 million in the float, if they issued a 10-cent dividend, where does all the extra money go since the shorts have to pay a dividend? The extra money would go to whoever the shorts are borrowing the shares from. And now you're understanding. The light bulb should be going off for you right now. As soon as I said that, the light bulb should be massively glowing, like as hot and red as the sun, as to understanding why our brokers would want to be lending shares right now. It should be just absolutely like glowing hot red. Manjit, 714 is the date that you're showing there, and you have to remember there's always a delay on the reporting. It's always behind by like 15 days or so, 15 to 30 days. Yoka Frida says massive volume incoming. We've been seeing a lot of volume in the end of the day. There's been lots of volume in the end of the day today. One of our highest minutes in here was 265,000 shares traded in a minute. 200, just throwing this out there, but 250,000 shares a minute creates 100 million shares traded in a single day. Have you heard anything about Benzinga having better short internet number interest probably numbers? I seem to recall something about them paying for a special service. I've been seeing some. I have seen some short interest numbers that have been coming out of them that are different than what I've been seeing on Ortex, but I haven't been doing any kind of cross comparisons at all. Volume for the day today is at 40.36 million, and it's time to wrap things up, guys. Uh, I'll answer Red Dog's question. Do you have to have a profit? Do you have to be profitable to issue a dividend? Not always. It depends on what your covenants are to your debtors. So it just depends. Alrighty, it's time for me to end the day here, guys. You know what time that means. It's over. Tomorrow Tomorrow's the big day. Get ready for that Q2 report. Eat, sleep, drink, get plenty of rest because tomorrow is that Q2 report. Spend time with your family, spend time with your friends, walk your pets, for crying out loud. They like to get out too, every once in a while. Go see a movie or something. But above all else, don't have a good day. Have a great day.
T-minus 90 seconds and counting. All systems are go. We're about 90 seconds from the launch of Space Shuttle Discovery. T-minus 60 seconds and counting. We are transferring to orbiter internal power at this time. Discovery is now running off its 3 onboard fuel cells. Coming up on a go for auto sequence start. And we have a go for auto sequence start. Discovery's onboard computers have primary control of all the vehicle's critical functions. T-minus 17 seconds and counting. 15, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, start, 2, 1, booster ignition, and liftoff of the Space Shuttle Discovery, returning to the space station, paving the way for future missions beyond. Discovery's onboard computers commanding the main engine nozzles to swivel, aiming the shuttle for its precise target in space for main engine cutoff.
Should have a good forward link now on SM. Okay, you sound good. Discovery Houston, negative return. Copy, negative return.
I walk a lonely road, the only one that I have ever known. Don't know where it goes, but it's home to me and I walk alone. I walk this empty street on the boulevard of broken dreams. I walk this empty street on the boulevard of broken dreams, where the city sleeps and I'm the only one, and I walk